Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is there's no such coaching like my coaching anywhere on the internet, and I spend the most time of any coach that you will ever find with my clients because I truly care for their progress. We interact 2 to 3 times per week, whether that's the audio unlimited package that you purchase from me or the unlimited phone sessions deluxe. These are the two coaching programs that I offer. Either you are exchanging audios with me or you are on the phone all the time with me, 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, the links are below to the packages. I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me for the full program, not to be confused with phone calls that I offer separate from coaching. How is that different? It's for somebody who's already been through coaching program of mine and has done all the exercises, has done all the work, and simply needs touch-ups, or simply wants to stay in touch with me and correspond with me to talk about further things that we have not covered in coaching, or just as life happens, they discuss with me things as they arise, okay? Each session is an hour long, both in the phone call sessions purchased separately. And again, this is for somebody who's been through coaching, or with the unlimited phone call deluxe. Okay, the audios in the event of the audio unlimited exchange has to be 20-minute max. Reason why is because I go through this audio more than once, I transcribe it by hand, and then based on my notes that I take in my own particular way. It's not exactly a transcript, but very close to it with my notations, things I want to tell you, etc., etc. And then I record my own reply to your audio. Now, we cover everything in my coaching, starting with childhood, adolescence, all the way into college years and to present moment, in fact. We cover your mom, dad, siblings, guardians, what have you. Now, the process is really similar to something that you would encounter in therapy, but I am not a psychologist, even though the process is similar. In fact, every time you book with me, you will need to sign the coaching agreement that explicitly says, I am not a psychologist. In fact, that's point one, that you need to be respectful. You need to be respectful of the rules of the coaching. You cannot rebuttal my methods. You need to really just follow the coaching if you'd like to receive the most results. There are other clauses in the agreement which are self-explanatory, like you cannot be consuming illegal drugs while being in coaching with me. You cannot send me more than one audio at a time. You cannot bombard me. Okay, you need to be basically just respectful. And that's really kind of like self-explanatory. However, I really felt like I had to make people sign this coaching agreement because I had certain experiences off of YouTube. Of course, everything is confidential in my coaching, unless, of course, and this is very standard, but never had to deal with it, in all my coaching years, which are 8, you become a danger to yourself, you become a danger to me, or you make me aware that you're going to be dangerous towards somebody else. In that case, unfortunately, the confidentiality is basically against the law in this case. So I cannot, if somebody, in other words, if the authorities call me, I need to report what I have heard in the coaching, and that's just the legal duty of mine. Okay, but like I said, this is very, very something, that I've never had to deal with, very extreme case, and so we don't really need to worry about. You can also book me for an hour to just establish that I'm your kind of coach. That's available on my website. But I assume that you're coming off of YouTube. I have over 200 audio/videos on my YouTube channel. I advise you to watch more than one in order to understand my personality. I'm very direct. I do use, curse words once in a while for emphasis, not to disrespect anybody, but that's just my personality, okay? I do encourage you also to express yourself however you express yourself in coaching, but this is my personality. I'm very direct, and sometimes I do curse for emphasis. In coaching, you need to show up prepared to work. You need to be open, honest, open to suggestions. You need to understand that I'm here to change your life. And so if you're one of those people who takes things in an offensive way, without considering that there may be another point of view, there may be a suggestion that might be helpful, I don't recommend coaching for you, period, in order to achieve results, because my idea of coaching is that I want to achieve the most results in a shorter period of time. And so my job, in fact, as a coach is to push you. And sometimes I will make suggestions or pose questions that will be, well, a little bit maybe uncomfortable for you to kind of like entertain. Because most people, the idea is you are so used to your dysfunction, you've not really considered other possibilities, or maybe haven't considered to view it in a different way. And sometimes it might come across as somebody is trying to push your buttons in order to, make you feel some type of way in coaching. However, all of this is designed to break you out of your dysfunction, to make you see things in a different way. And so if you're not ready to see things in a different way, if you kind of like are very comfortable in your dysfunction, then my kind of coaching may not be for you. Okay, I will never disrespect you as my client. I love and adore my clients, but you really have to come prepared to hear some truth. And I'm very direct, like I said. I don't dilly-dally. I just go right to it. Now, it's always a dialogue in my coaching. If you disagree with something, it's not a dictatorship, but I am allowed to give you my opinion. Okay. All the information from me is below. If you have any questions before booking, then by all means, email me. The email is directly below. Otherwise, just book me and we'll schedule our first session or schedule the first hour to make sure you understand that I'm the right fit for you. And then we'll discuss what kind of package is the most ideal for you. The subject of today is how to drive them, your SP, that is absolutely crazy at a distance, in parentheses. Okay, so a lot of you, I would say most of you, in my coaching right now off of YouTube, and who has ever been in my coaching off of YouTube, come to me with SP problems. Like I would say 90% of the time, okay? Just kidding, 99% of the time. There's probably like 1%, and it's usually, I'm not going to say what gender, but you can guess, that doesn't really want to discuss SP work with me, although it's a part of anybody's life. But 99% of the people who come into coaching with me are really wanting to find out how to do this right, because they're watching all these videos on YouTube, and it's really confusing. Like when I first started talking about these things, because people started asking me questions on YouTube, I was talking about something completely different. I was talking about angels and, matrix, and how the grass grows and the consciousness of the trees. And then somebody was like, can you talk about relationships a little bit? And I'm like, okay, no problem. That's easy. Because to me, like, I was going in another direction. And then I started receiving these questions. And apparently this is a topic. I had no idea. And so when people started sending me these videos, I became so appalled that there's so much misinformation, when to me it was so crystal clear how this works. And even though, in my own life, I've experienced certain things, like heartbreak and this and that, the person that I really wanted, the people rather, that I really wanted to change or to have come back, always came back, no matter what. And so I didn't even realize this was like such a huge, big deal. And more in talking to my clients, the more I listened, the more I realized the real problem here is that people are listening to other videos, and it's not based on how can I say this? I don't want to say it's not based on truth, because there's some truth to everything, but it's not helpful because, first of all, it's making things too complicated, in my opinion. And two, it's not personable enough. So this is why I started coaching on YouTube, because honestly, I was just going to have my channel here and I was not going to coach. It was only when I received requests that I started coaching on YouTube. True story. And so for me, I'm going to give you like the holy grail here of how to really do this. Because not to brag, but to me, it's rather easy. Like, it takes a decision though, right? It takes a decision to decide to drive somebody crazy. Now, it doesn't have to be that, parenthesis here, religious people, please close your ears. It doesn't have to be that you're gaga over this person. It could just be an experiment of sorts. Okay, this is not manipulation. This is just, if somebody wronged you, somebody was disrespectful towards you, this and that, and you just want to have an apology, you can get that. You can absolutely get that. Now, to drive them crazy, I don't actually mean crazy as in, insane, like, medically insane. But what I mean is to have them really come to their senses, where they realize that you were correct in, expecting something else from them. You were correct in expecting a different behavior, that they fucked up and that they were in the wrong. Okay. And most of the clients that I speak to on my channel are fantastic, like darling, sweet people that are just gentle souls. And most often than not, blame themselves for the outcome that they received. Meanwhile, it's not the case. The reality of things is that they did nothing wrong. What they do have, though, is a faulty belief system, which is why I go through the entire history in my coaching of yours. So to understand what it is that you believe about yourself in order to have created this outcome with this SP. This is mandatory. You are not going anywhere without understanding yourself. I just want to stress this like 100 million times, because I think most people are under the impression, which is what I kind of like understood upon kind of like doing a little research when I started talking about SPs and the things that people sent me. What do you think about this? What do you think about that coach? What do you think about this person? Most of it is crap. I mean, let's just be honest here. Most of it is crap. There's a reason why so many people are frustrated. Okay. And so for you to really get down to the bottom of this matter for yourself individually, you have to study you. Okay, this is just like the slogan of my coaching. There's nothing else for you to do but really get to know yourself, because you are really just solving like 99% of your problems by doing that. There's nothing else for you to do but understand who you are, what problems you have, what kind of beliefs you have. Who are your demons? What are your demons? What kinds of things you are to forgive? Who are you to forgive? All these things are really intricate and really important. And in my coaching, I really dive deep into all of these things, because this is how you actually start to manifest differently on automatic pilot. Now look, I know all of you want to hear like the rest of the video and stay until the end. But the thing is, I really want to say, if you fix your shit, if you fix yourself, in other words, the manifestations that you are going to receive will be automatic. Just like you create bullshit right now on automatic pilot, in the same manner, you will start receiving beautiful shit on automatic pilot if you understand what you're doing that is preventing you from creating beautiful shit. Okay? There, I just gave it to you. Take it to the bank and cash it in. Okay, so now, let me start going over it before this gets so long that whatever, then you have to watch it in pieces. But I advise you to save this video in your whatever Rolodex and watch it, because this is it. Okay, I'm giving it to you. The number one thing that most of you do that does not produce results, other than not being in coaching, not examining yourself, is you are upset that this person left. Now, let me tell you something. Number one rule, okay? We're not upset about people leaving. We need to go back to our drawing board, and figure out why. Why did this happen? What did I do to create this internally? Okay, if you're going to cry and, watch 300 million YouTube videos, be my fucking guest. That's not going to solve anything. So I'm just going on the assumption you want results. So let's get right to it. You need to understand why you created it. If you're not in coaching, then you need to simply ask yourself, what was I contemplating before meeting this person? What kind of mood was I in? What kind of things was I thinking? Was I in a high fly mood? Was I in a depressed mood? Was I expecting a good outcome? Or was I expecting the same shit that I've lived over and over again in my previous relationships? Very important question. You know exactly how you created this version. You know exactly what you put in the laboratory of your mind to create him or her. And so now that you're faced with your own creation, you cannot point fingers. You cannot say anything to anyone. Not even to yourself, quite frankly, because now that you have this knowledge, you can recreate anew. The second thing is that you cannot be upset about losing this version, because this version was shit. It was not what you really wanted to have. Okay, you really deserve something else. And like I said, most of the people I coach, like over and over again, like 99% of, with a very, very, like maybe one or two exclusion, but which I cannot attest to this statement, but 99% of the people I have coached have been darling, magnificent souls that simply did not understand their beliefs, did not understand how they created it, have done nothing wrong other than that. Okay, so but this creation is shit and you deserve better. That's 2. 3, and this is a famous one. Now that you've created this shitty version, most of the times you feel guilty, you feel like you did something wrong, and now you're chasing them. Big mistake. Huge. It's like Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. Big mistake. Huge. You work on commission here? Big mistake. Huge. Okay. You are never going to are you listening, class? You are never, ever, ever, and I mean ever, going to achieve anything good, that is, by chasing anything or anyone. One more time, you are never, ever, ever, and I mean ever, going to achieve anything worthy of your time or attention or existence when you're chasing anything or anyone. Forget it. Just have some self-control. I know it's difficult. I know you think you have to do something in the 3D. I know you feel like you have to react. I know you feel like whatever. Stop. Just understand it's going to get worse if you chase. Just muster up some courage, muster up some self-control, and just say to yourself, I'd rather be a lady, I'd rather be a gentleman, I'd rather be gracious, I'd rather respect myself. Do not chase them in any shape or form in the 3D or energetically for that matter. It will just speed up the process if you can really achieve this, because for some of you, I know it's very difficult. I know you're a human being. I've been there, okay? Truth be told, I've been there. But the thing is, it's not going to achieve anything. It's not going to achieve anything that you want, but nothing, zero. And chances are, right, if you feel like chasing somebody, they're running away. So wouldn't you want to switch this dynamic? Say, let's just say, if they're leaving for a third party, if they're even marrying that person, I don't care. If they said to you point blank, you know what, this isn't working out, I'm going with somebody else and I'm going to marry them. You know what you say? I understand. Okay, that's fine. In front of them, you need to hold it together and say, okay, I understand, that's fine, and I respect your decision, and that's all right with me. Inside, they will be like, what? They expect you to fall the fuck apart and do all this crazy shit and chasing and writing them 1,000 texts and begging and pleading and crying. Have some self-respect, really, though. I know it's not easy. I'm not trying to be not sympathetic, but you have to maintain a certain level of manifestation if you are to manifest them back. And quite frankly, you descending to that level ain't going to do that, okay? You can fall apart in the privacy of your solitude. You can cry. You can do whatever you want. You can talk to your friend. You can talk to me if you're in my coaching, but not to them. In front of them, you have to start becoming this other person that they have not met yet. Because chances are, like I said, the reason the situation happened is because you yourself were presenting yourself as somebody who does not deserve what they actually need to do for you to be happy. You presented a different version of you. You must have. This is why the results. All right? Watch out. This is going to be a long audio. In the moment that you start changing things, how you usually do these things, they are used to you to be, ever so forgiving, ever so kind of like accommodating and this and that, and yes to everything they want. And listen, you can spoil the most well-meaning person this way by not acknowledging that you are just as important, by the way. They don't have to be an asshole. They don't have to be a narcissist. They don't have to be all these crazy things. You can literally ruin the most perfect relationship by not acknowledging yourself, which brings me to my next point. Actually, no. Before I get to that, you really need to pull back your energy. You need to pull back your energy. You need to be, okay, you're going with a third party? Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Literally, this is the conversation. Now, you're going to be like, Anna, you have gone off the rails. You don't understand my situation. This is so painful, la, la, la. No, actually, I do. Because you know what? You know why I coach people? Because just about any person that I coach in my coaching, I more or less can relate to any situation because I've been through a lot of shit. All right? So I know what you're going through, and this is how to deal. I'm giving you the shortcut rather than spending years in fucking misery and this and that so that you can achieve results real quick. And if you come into my coaching, you will understand what I mean. Okay, you need to pull back your energy completely and be like, yeah, you want to get married to this person? Fine. They will be completely flabbergasted. Who is this person? Before they were so needy, so clingy, so accommodating, this and that. And now they're fine with me marrying somebody else? That's just an example. They can tell you, this is it. Don't contact me again. And you say, no problem. That's fine. No problem. I understand. They will be flabbergasted still. Whatever they say to you, you just say yes, 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 yes. In the meantime, though, while you pull back your energy completely and you don't chase them, you don't seek to run into them in the street, you don't, again, do not send them any communication unless they contact you. And then, reluctantly, you'll reply maybe in a day or two, something like this, and say politely, we've broken up. So, I think that we should just keep it at that and be very polite, friendly, not nasty, but I think we should move on from the situation. I think that this is what you chose and that's fine with me. And I think we should just keep going. They will be flabbergasted still. As long as you understand that you need to pull back your energy rather than overwhelm them with shit, chasing them this and that, and start working on yourself. The most important point 5. Hello. Now, what that looks like for you, I don't know. A lot of people come into my coaching completely devastated, really just, you don't understand. He's going to marry somebody else, or he has already married somebody else. And, I don't know what to do. I got to do something right now. And I always say the same thing, much to the surprise of the person that I'm talking to. I'm like, that is not the emergency right now. The emergency right now, in quotations, is that you have to get your shit together. You have to get your shit together in order to become a different person, in order to start attracting differently. Because if you're going down the path of desperation and devastation, good luck. I don't want to be part of it. But if you want to be in coaching with me, we need to work on you. And so what does that look like? Are you starting a new business? Are you getting a new job? Are you going for pedicure, smelling the roses, beautifying yourself, upgrading your wardrobe? Whatever it is that you can do to become a better version of yourself. Going into coaching with Anna. Hey, not for nothing, but that's the most the best thing that you can ever invest in. Hey, that rhymes. The best thing that you can ever invest in. Ultimately, the change of mind is going to create a new reality, okay? When you change your mind, you change your destiny, you change your timeline, okay? You change everything. When you change the way you look at things temporarily, right now, 3D shows you things are seemingly going to shed. If you change your perception about it, things will change. They just automatically, by your interpretation of it, you can interpret the situation like, oh my God, this is it. The sky is falling on my head. I'm never going to get this person back. This is it. Or you can say, wow, what a magnificent opportunity. Because in every problem, there's opportunity. You know that. Or maybe you don't, and now you do. If you don't know, well, now you know. And so you say to yourself, okay, this happened for a reason. I really need to get my things in order. And this is my opportunity. This happened because I clearly am the creator of my reality. I'm so powerful that I manifested this shitty version, then went with somebody else or treated me unkindly, disrespectfully, and this and that and the other, whatever the situation is. And now this is my chance, not just to turn around this situation, but to turn around my entire life, to change. What a beautiful opportunity, guys. Seriously, though, to change completely. And I know it hurts sometimes for some of you. I know it's fucking uncomfortable, but you know something. This is what I learned in every situation in my life and through my clients for sure. When it's most uncomfortable in your life, it is definitely a sign that you're growing. Now, it's a decision that you have to make. Are you going to go into the right direction by improving yourself, or are you going back, right? So you can take this as a sign for you to go and just completely collapse somewhere in the corner and cry for like 9 years. I'm exaggerating, of course. Or you can take this as a sign, wow, there's something misaligned in me. I need to adjust it, and I'm like really excited to do it, even though it's uncomfortable. Okay, so the work on you is the number one priority. Underline 300 million times, number one priority. Because without you becoming somebody else, you will not experience anything new. And parenthesis here, when your SP starts realizing you're not chasing them, you're being very kind, you're being very calm, collected, even though I know that's difficult, once more. You're investing in your own business, you're starting new hobbies, you're taking care of yourself, you're going to the gym instead of like collapsing in the corner, like I said. They're going to start wondering, wait a minute, what did I just do to my life? Have I made the biggest mistake of my life? Because this other person that you were, yes, maybe drove them to go to a third party. How you like that? Not that you're a bad person or per se, but energetically there was something off with you. And that created the situation with third party. Now, if you change, they will start paying attention to you, and you will say, this is not the same person that I was interacting with before. So who is this person? Let me pay attention. They're going to start looking you up on social media, or maybe start getting back in contact with you, this and that. Now, parenthesis here, you really need to do the work on yourself internally in terms of letting go of resentment and unforgiveness and all that jazz. Chances are that's not the only person you need to do that with, but that's, in coaching, that's what I cover. And suddenly the energy is pure with you. you could have taken the route of feeling resentment till the end of motherfucking time. Okay? You could have been crying in the corner and blaming him or her for leaving and this and any other, or for, doing whatever. But now you don't do that. You process that. You let go of it and you say, you know what? He or she were a very magnificent messenger to what I needed to work on within myself. Now, what a beautiful opportunity that is. Okay? And that is a gift that, quite frankly, you need to thank them for from the bottom of your heart. Okay, you showed me what I needed to work on. If I was just going along in my life, somebody needs to really hurt you, okay, internally, for you to get the message. Hey, something's off here. You're creating something that you don't like. Okay, so what a gift, in other words. Be unbothered, be on purpose. Be completely removed from this energy. Don't engage in energy of revenge or resentment. This bullshit will take longer for you to manifest them back, or drive them crazy for that matter. It's only when you're like totally unbothered, doing your own thing, and creating on purpose. Now, we get to point 6, okay? You need to create a new story, a new dialogue with this person, no matter how hard it is. And again, coaching is really helpful with this, because I know it is hard, and I understand. You need to create a new story, a new version of this person in your life, in your mind, and in your life, of course, a new dialogue with this person. And so my absolute favorite technique of when you're ready and when you're stable in your vibration, when you understand that you have the power over all of this, okay? Once the drama panorama situation is kind of like subsided and you're stable and you're ready, you need to start sending them energetic and thought transmission messages. And you say to them, I forgive you. I let go of the past. I don't blame you anymore. I understand that you're just a messenger. I fully, I understand. And now you're in a position to create something different. And you say to them, my dear SP, you miss me terribly. I know you miss me beyond any words or comprehension. All you can think about is me. In fact, when we met, the first thought that came across your mind is that you wanted to marry me. You wanted to be with me for the rest of your life. Now, my energy interfered from my past and my past beliefs and this and that. And I created this energetic field around us of insecurity and stress and worry. And this is the only reason that we got sidetracked. But you still want to marry me. You still want to be with me. You want to have all the life with me that we can handle in any capacity, whether that's children, houses, anything at all, businesses together, ventures, la la la. And so, my dear SP, I know that we belong together, and I know that there's no other person under the sun that's more suitable for you other than me. And when you really establish this in your mind, it will reach their minds, and they will get that telepathic message, that energy, provided it is coming from a pure place. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot be resentful. You cannot be hateful. You cannot go back and forth. You have to come from a pure place of literally meaning every word you're thinking, every word you say. This has to become the new story. Just like before, may have been crying, may have been resentful, may have been this and any other. This now replaces the old story. And you don't talk to this person. You don't telephone them. You don't email them. You don't send them a fucking message. No smoke signal, nothing, but nothing. And this will reach their mind, and they will be like, wow, I'm thinking about this person all the time. And they will start reminiscing the first time you met. This was such a connection, beautiful connection. It doesn't matter if they even married somebody. I'll tell you this right now. They will start really thinking about you in a way that you have instructed them. Now, is this manipulation? I don't think so. Was it manipulation when you created a shitty version of events? No, right? So why is it manipulation to create something that you actually want to create in your life? This is the most powerful technique under the sun. This is the most powerful technique under the sun. This is the most powerful technique under the sun. But again, you have to be ready to maneuver it. You have to be clean slated, and you really have to believe in what you're doing, okay? And number 7 is manifest. Start manifesting contacts. You remember what it felt like for them to contact you. But this time around, you're imagining a completely different version of them, an upgraded one. You've upgraded, they've upgraded, okay? That's just how it goes. And since you've upgraded and you're still thinking about them and you're inviting them energetically back into your life, they have to show up differently. They can either they're showing up differently or not showing up at all. So since you're inviting them back into your matrix, into your reality, they have to show up differently. Now, here's the test of all of this. When they contact you, even if it's just like a hello, how are you? How has it been for you? Blah, blah, blah. You don't answer right away. You don't jump on that. You act like your new version. The version that respects themselves, that is busy building businesses, having friends, having wonderful connections, having whatever you created in this period of time, having self-esteem, self-respect. A person who has self-respect doesn't jump on their ex's text when it has been some time and when there has been some drama panorama. You don't start saying, oh my God, yeah, I've just been sitting here waiting for your text. No, you act as a person that you have become, okay? And you keep them a little bit at bay. They need to deserve to come back into your life physically. And they need to understand that it's a privilege to be in your presence. Just to be in your presence, just to talk to you. It's a privilege. That you don't take things lightly. That before, yeah, all right, I was a fool and I acted like an idiot. Fine. But now is a different time. I've upgraded. So if you are coming into my reality, you better get, you better get with the program. All right, my darling. You let them wait. Maybe you let them send you a few texts. Maybe it's an apology. Maybe 100 apologies. Whatever. You don't go out on a dinner with them at a second text. You let it be the way you need it to be. If you need to take time, and I advise you that you do, and have them wait a little before you actually show up in all your glory, in all your wonderfulness, to meet them for dinner or reconciliation or anything like that, then that's what you do. But you treat yourself like the golden Buddha that you are, like the king or the queen of your reality. No other thing is acceptable from here on. And I'll tell you something else. When you get back with them in a relationship, and they'll drop that third party like the fucking snowflake off their nose, okay? You better keep the same attitude that you are the king or the queen of your reality. Otherwise, it will go back to square one. And you don't want that. From here on, you need to treat yourself as the golden Buddha, as someone who takes themselves seriously. This is part of your life, part of your time that you spend on someone. Wouldn't it be of paramount importance to create a relationship that's most suitable to your liking? 100%. Custom made and tailor made for you. And that's what drives people crazy, when other people don't accept their bullshit or don't accept anything but the best. That's what drives people crazy in a good way. That's what will drive them crazy. When you treat yourself like the most important person in your universe, they will treat you the same way. And I'm telling you, it will never have, whatever they did, however they disrespected you, whatever they tried to pull on you, they will never do that shit again. Because they will remember the kind of sacrifices, the kind of trouble they had to go through to get you back into their life. And you have to make it known that this is how it will go from here on. We're not going back to how it used to be. Not even for 1 second, no. When you value yourself this way, other people will too. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.